Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jamie and today we're going to talk about some new makeup releases. I'm going to give my opinions on them, whether I'm going to buy them, and just generally talk about them. As always, this video was inspired by Samantha March's Will I Buy It series, so I'll have her channel linked down below and the video playlist. She created a community playlist where other creators can all post these types of videos, so if you love these kinds of videos, you can totally binge watch them, and I'll have the community playlist linked down below as well. There are a ton of new makeup releases to talk about this week, so let's get started. The first release that I want to talk about is Anastasia released their full spring-summer collection, and I am so excited about this. They released the Riviera Eyeshadow Palette, which I am hands down buying, no questions. I find that this color scheme is really unique to the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eyeshadow Palette collection, and I tend to have like 5 or 6 of her palettes, so I already know that I'm most likely going to love this formula. I love the fact that this one has colors because that's something I'm dying to see from Anastasia, because I find that her mattes are so pigmented and blendable and her shimmers go on like a dream that I'd love that if she expanded to color, and she did. So I'm 100% going to pick up this palette and I'll probably use it in a get ready with me or feature it somewhat on my channel. Another thing she released in this collection are loose highlighters, and she has 3 different colors for a light, medium, and deep skin tone. As much as I think these look gorgeous on other people, loose highlighters really aren't my kind of preference. I find that they're kind of messy and I go for a more subtle highlighter look on a day-to-day basis, so I really don't think this would add value to my collection. The last thing that Anastasia Beverly Hills released in this collection is the Dewy Set setting spray. I'm intrigued to buy this, but I don't think it's something I'm going to buy immediately because I do have my MAC Fix Plus for meanwhile. So I think when I run out of my Fix Plus, which is currently in my project pan, then I'd pick this up and replace it. But as of now, I have more than enough setting sprays to hold me over. Another eyeshadow palette release that I talked about in last week's video, and it's the Colored Raine Safari Rain eyeshadow palette. When I first saw the reveal of the inside of the palette, to be honest, I was kind of confused. I had this picture of what the palette should look like in my mind, and the real palette didn't match my imagination. But once I saw swatches of this palette and I got to look at it a little bit more closely, I realized how absolutely stunning this is. This palette definitely reminds me of the Juvia's Place Tribe palette, so if you already own that, this might not be a palette that you want to pick up, but I don't own that one, and I really wanted to try Colored Raine eyeshadows. I'm definitely going to pick this up, but I think because I'm planning on picking up the Riviera eyeshadow palette immediately, I might hold off on the Colored Raine one for a little bit. But definitely you're going to see but you're definitely going to see the Colored Raine palette used on my channel at some point. So definitely leave any requests you have for looks or sorts of videos that you want with these products. An eyeshadow release that I wasn't too excited about comes from Morphe, and they released the Bronze Gold eyeshadow palette, and I feel like this looks like every other one of Morphe's eyeshadow palettes. It's bronze, it has those cranberry shimmers, a few dark colors, and there's way too many shades that look way too similar. I do have a Morphe palette. I have the 35A or B, and I like the quality, but it's definitely not ranking among my favorite eyeshadow palettes. I wish Morphe would step out of the box when it comes to this palette, because if you have any of the 35 pan palettes, especially the 35O, you basically already have this, so I don't feel the need to run out and get it. Morphe did also release bronzers in the collection, and I think they look interesting, but once again, they're just not something I'm going to run to Ulta and grab. Ciate London is collaborating with Jessica Rabbit, and I think this is the coolest, the best collection ever. My brother and I used to watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit all the time, so I am very familiar with Jessica, and I always idolized her because she's gorgeous. I think this is such a great release, and I love a brand like Ciate collaborating with this character. They're coming out with an eyeshadow palette, a highlighter, and a glitter storm lipstick, which I feel like Jessica Rabbit and a red glitter lipstick, like that's a match made in heaven. I'm interested in buying this palette. The color scheme to me isn't really unique, but because I really like Jessica Rabbit and I want to try more of Ciate's, I would be interested in picking this up. I'm not going to run out to stores and get it, but if I see it in Sephora, I'm definitely going to swatch it. I'm more intrigued by the highlighter than anything else in this collection because they said that the highlighter is a cream to powder formula. So I think if that shade worked on my skin tone, I would want to try it because once again, I really want to try something from Ciate. I only have tried their Glitter Flip liquid lipstick. I feel like this week was the week of eyeshadow palettes because I still have 2 more eyeshadow related items to talk about. Violet Voss is releasing the Sugar Crystals eyeshadow palette, which I definitely think this is pretty and a great addition to Violet Voss's collection, but it's not something I need. I think the last 2 rows of the duochrome and the shimmer are absolutely stunning, but it's a rainbow palette and I feel like I have all these colors, so I really wish they chose more unique mattes. I think if you don't have a lot of colorful shadows, then this palette might be perfect for you, and I've heard great things about Violet Voss's quality, but I haven't personally tried anything. Violet Voss is also available at Sephora, so you can use your points when you purchase this if it's something you're interested in. Another collab that I'm super excited about is with JKissa and e.l.f. I've always loved JKissa. I think she's such a creative YouTuber, and her looks really get me inspired and force me to step outside of my comfort zone because she uses color in such a unique way. It came no surprise to me that JKissa was collaborating with e.l.f. because she always talks about the brand a lot on her channel. So she's coming out with this eyeshadow palette, this red-brown mascara, and this beautiful blue eyeliner. Out of all of the products, I'm definitely leaning towards buying the eyeliner and the palette the most, but that palette looks so pretty, and I really feel like I can get some unique looks with that color. I also like the fact that the palette came with a brush because from my knowledge, I don't think any other e.l.f. palettes come with this brush. So this one comes with a smudging side and a pencil side, which I think is such a great addition to your brush collection, and e.l.f. has some really high quality brushes, and they're actually some of my favorite drugstore brushes. So congratulations, JKissa, this is so exciting. Another YouTuber that's coming out with an eyeshadow palette collection is Daisy Marquez is collaborating with VH Cosmetics. If you've ever seen any of Daisy's videos, you know that Tiffany blue is her favorite color, so I feel like this packaging is so Daisy. Unfortunately, I'm not planning on buying this eyeshadow palette. I do have a lot of palettes that I'm planning on buying in the upcoming months, and this one just really isn't one for me. I do like Daisy as a YouTuber. I used to be subscribed to her, and I think she has some really unique looks, and she's one of those YouTubers that really does play with color. But as of now, her makeup style doesn't really coincide with my personal style. But regardless, this is a huge collaboration with her, and I'm so happy for her, and this must be such a proud accomplishment. So the palette's stunning, and I think if I looked at her description right, the mirror can stand upright like a vanity mirror, but then can also turn its side to fold down the palette. So that's a really cool, unique feature that you don't see in many palettes. So congratulations, Daisy. I do think the palette is beautiful. And the last eyeshadow related thing I have to talk about is from Looxie Beauty. Looxie Beauty is an indie brand that's known for their single eyeshadows and single highlighters, and they're coming out with a new collection of single eyeshadows for spring. These colors are absolutely beautiful. I'm really drawn to some of the shimmery blues and peaches, but as of right now, I think I'm gonna lay low and not purchase these. I love single eyeshadows, and I actually have a video all about my favorite single eyeshadows, so if you haven't seen that, I'll link it in the cards up above. I think single eyeshadows are a really good way to bring uniqueness to your collection because you can pick up one or two colors and then mix and match your singles with other singles or existing palettes to create new looks. They're a great way that if you find an eyeshadow palette that you only like that one color from, you can buy it into single, and you can definitely add diversity to your collection. And one of my favorite things to do with my single shadows is to rearrange them and dupe new palettes so that I'm not always tempted to buy everything that comes out. Kylie Cosmetics is releasing loose setting powders in 6 different shades. I definitely have to applaud Kylie for releasing it in so many different shades. I think that's such a great feat, and it really caters to a bunch of skin tones. I know a lot of people are comparing this release to Fenty, who recently released setting powders as well, but I kind of think you can't compare them. It takes brands a long time to formulate packaging and ingredients and get their product ready, so it might merely be a coincidence that Fenty Beauty came out with setting powders earlier in the year. I have a few products from Kylie, mostly her liquid lipsticks, and I actually really do like them. I find the formulas pretty decent, and I find that the velvet ones definitely outshine the mattes. If you're a big fan of Kylie, because I know a lot of people really love her products, I think this is a great release, especially because it comes in so many different shades. So I have to applaud her on that. Regardless of whether you like Kylie or not, you have to say that her shade range is definitely a big plus for her brand. Too Faced is expanding their Tutti Frutti collection, which came out in late summer of this year. They're coming out with setting powders in 3 different shades, a Do You primer and a jelly highlighter, plus this kit with all their favorite essentials, which of course has the Better Than Sex mascara. I like how they came up with powders in 3 different shades, which is something I talked about in Too Faced last video when they expanded their peach collection and they added a darker powder when they initially had a light powder. So I like the fact that this initial launch came with 3 different shades. Out of all the things in this collection, I'm most intrigued by the primer. I really want to try the Hangover RX by Too Faced because I have dry skin and I heard that it's a savior for dry skins, but this one being hydrating and luminizing kind of calls my attention a little bit more. I didn't end up picking anything up from the Tutti Frutti collection because it didn't get the best reviews, and I like to make sure I'm watching reviews so I'm more conscious about my purchases. But I think if this primer is reviewed positively, I definitely pick it up because most of the Too Faced products that I have, I absolutely love. Milk Makeup is also coming out with a new primer, and this immediately grabbed my attention, and I actually have it pending on my future wish list. So it's a hydrating primer, and it's also a gripping primer, which those combine my 2 favorite things about primers, adding longevity to your makeup, but also adding hydration to your skin. I haven't tried anything from Milk Makeup. I'm actually planning on doing an upcoming video where I talk about brands that I love that I don't own anything from, and Milk Makeup is on that list. I've been interested in trying their products. I think they're such an innovative brand and they really come out with cool concepts, and this primer is a perfect example of it. I think if this comes to Sephora, I would 100% pick it up because hydration and longevity are the two things I look for in a primer, and I do want to try something from Milk Makeup, so I will 100% be picking this up at some point. Milani is also coming out with a few new releases. They're coming out with their festival collection lip gloss and liquid eyeshadows. I think the lip gloss is super pretty, especially that nude one, because I feel like you could throw it on top of any lip color to give that really shimmery, glittery effect. But I do have to say, out of the two releases, the eye toppers caught my attention more. They're coming with a purple, a green blue, and this beautiful like white champagne shade, and they look absolutely beautiful in the swatches that I saw from Dupe That. I think the purple is stunning and the green, and I really want to try Milani's liquid eyeshadows. Jackie Aina just did a video about products that are kind of underhyped, and she mentioned the Milani eyeshadows, and they looked so beautiful on her application. So I definitely want to try some of these. As far as Milani goes, it's one of the more expensive drugstore brands, so I tend to try less of Milani because I kind of feel like I'm going to buy a $20 eyeshadow palette, I should fork over the extra money and go to the high-end brand. But I know Milani really, their price is really reflective in their quality because everything I've tried has been absolutely phenomenal. Definitely planning on picking these up, especially if they come to Ulta, because I tend to buy most of my drugstore makeup at Ulta just because I can rack up those points for the future, and they're always sending out coupons. So Charlotte Tilbury is coming out with a new collection, and I don't plan on buying anything because as of right now, Charlotte Tilbury is not in my budget, and I already have a bunch of new releases that I want to buy. But I think this eyeshadow palette is absolutely stunning, and the reason I want to talk about it is because the packaging reminded me of David Bowie. And I love David Bowie. I was him for Halloween like 3 years in a row with the whole lightning bolt and the glitter, and this packaging, like, I kind of wanted to buy it just for that, but then I had to stop and reason with myself and let myself remind myself how expensive Charlotte Tilbury makeup really is, and that I don't need an eyeshadow palette just for the packaging. The lipsticks or the lip glosses also look really pretty, and I love the shades that they come in. Charlotte Tilbury is definitely one of those brands that I want to try eventually. They're like, I call them the tax return brand, where when I get my tax return money, maybe I'll splurge on something from Charlotte Tilbury. But as of right now, with my budget and my student loans and all that stuff, I don't have the money for Charlotte Tilbury purchases. But I know a lot of people really do like this brand, and I'm assuming they're just as excited for this release. So Smashbox Cosmetics is collaborating with The Hood Witch, and to be honest, I really didn't know about this person prior to the collaboration, but I think the collaboration looks interesting. It's very crystal inspired, and I know crystals and astrology are a big thing going around right now, so I can assume that a lot of people will be excited about this. For me, I've never really gotten to the whole crystal phase, so I'm kind of out of the loop when it comes to this collection, and I think I'm going to leave it for the fanatics instead. So they're coming out with a highlighter, lip glosses, liquid eyeshadows, a cover shot palette, primer water, and a new primerizer that's crystal infused. The whole crystal infused thing seems kind of gimmicky to me, but I know people really are on board and they believe in the healing powers of crystals. So for them, I think they'd probably be really excited for this release. And of all the things that Smashbox has come out with in this collection, I think I would lean toward the liquid eyeshadows the most. I really do love liquid eyeshadows, and they're something I use on a pretty regular basis, and I think the colors that Smashbox came out with are beautiful, and as far as I know, Smashbox does not have any liquid eyeshadows. I think this is a nice collection, but once again, I really don't think it's tailored to me, so not something I'm planning on picking up. So the last item that I want to talk about is from Maybelline, and Maybelline is coming out with this full coverage, lightweight foundation. Full coverage kind of threw me off because I'm not really a full coverage kind of person. I usually only wear concealer and I hardly wear foundation on an everyday basis, so it doesn't really fit my styles, but the fact that it's lightweight did make me intrigued. It's only released in the UK as far as now, at least as far as I know of, so I'm hoping that it comes to the United States. So those are all the releases that I want to talk about for the week. Which products released did catch your eye and are you planning on buying, and which ones are you planning on avoiding? I'd love if you let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, I hope you'll consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel for future uploads. I upload at least one video a week, and I hope to see you back in my next one. Thanks for watching.